I have never been more wrong about Ibanez. Oh, who this is? Check this thing. What are we doing here? I mean, how cool is this? You know what's funny? All these years, I've never even played an Iceman. I've played Paul Gilbert's Fireman, but I have never played an Iceman. And I don't know why. They never appealed to me because I was so wrong. I'm like, I don't really, that doesn't fit the vibe that I want with Ibanez. I want the RG550s. I want that kind of stuff. And I know that Ibanez makes killer hollow bodies, jazz boxes, all that kind of stuff, but I was always just kind of like, that's not my thing. And finally got one to try, and dude, it is a rock machine. So before we get too far into it, I do have to give a big thank you to Sweetwater for sending this over to me to check out. They got these in, these all gold ones, and I was like, can I do a video on one of those? Like, I shouldn't say I've always wanted to, because I never really wanted to try an Iceman, but here recently I was like, I've never played an Iceman. I would like to check one out. So big shout out and thank you to them. They're sponsoring today's video. So I will link all that stuff down below if you want full specs on the guitar. But other than that, man, we're just gonna get nerdy. We're gonna give you some tones. If you would, subscribe if you like this stuff. And what do you say? We just get into it. All right, let's go. Alright, so let me hit you with some specs on this thing. At the end of the day, think Les Paul. It's like that, but it has a kind of a bigger sound. Now, this is a bigger guitar. This is one of the things I really like about it. If you're a person who's, a little bit over 6 foot tall or something like that, sometimes guitars look small on you. I've always loved 335s because they were bigger. And this guitar is it's a big guitar. So it's very comfortable. I love when guitars like this. I think that's why I like Explorers and Destroyers and all that stuff so much. But as far as, actual specs on the guitar, other than it's just a big guitar, you have the Super 80 pickups, which I'm unfamiliar with, but I really like the way they sound. And the body is something that's called Akume. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I believe it's very similar to mahogany. So again, think classic Les Paul configuration. You've got mahogany neck, mahogany body, or Akumi neck and body. And then the fretboard is something called Jatoba. And again, I'm probably like butchering all these pronunciations, but similar to rosewood. So you've got like a classic wood combination here. And it is a set neck. Boom, right there. And if you've never played a set neck guitar before, they totally have a feel. I love, bolt-on necks. They're probably my favorite. But a set neck, the way that thing just vibrates and resonates, there's really nothing else like it outside of through necks, which also feel a little bit different. So, they're their own thing. And as far as the way the guitar plays and sounds, really, really nice. You got the bound fretboard, of course, on here. And it just kind of rings. That's something I noticed right away whenever I got it and I played it. And then immediately I wrote the riff that you heard. Like, I love the first, minute you have with a new guitar, especially a guitar you've never played before. Because if you see this big horn, it makes you sit and hold the guitar a little bit differently. And I think that equates to you playing the guitar differently as well. But as soon as I got it, I did the, it was some kind of version of that riff. And I'm like, hey, I think that's the riff. And it just kind of went from there. So that's the guitar, super cool, love the vibe of it. These are not breaking the bank right now. and you know, let's just hit you with some tones, and we'll be on our way. All right, let's get it. Alright gang, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thanks to Sweetwater for letting me check this guitar out. Love it. Totally love the Iceman vibe. I'm very surprised that I have waited this long to try one of these. I'm sure some of you guys out there have probably been playing Icemans for years and you're like, what? You've never played one of these? But, you know, we probably associate this guitar a lot with Paul Stanley. But he is not the one that made me want to play this. I've recently been learning a bunch of Wes Hauck stuff. If you're unfamiliar with Wes, go check him out. Phenomenal guitar player. But I was learning his stuff and he plays like, you know, super detuned metal on these Iceman guitars that he has. And I was like, maybe I should try one of those sometime. And sure enough, I love them. So this is cool. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't played one before. Maybe if you want something a little bit different. You know, it feels different from a Les Paul. I know I was comparing it a lot to that, but the feel is very, very different. And, you know, overall, great experience. So other than that, I'm out of here, homies. Peace!